Angel did not almost forget the name of the show again. That's never happened to me. I don't know what you're talking about.
Now you got me laughing.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Voices from the Mausoleum, and welcome back to another Horror Hangout Live. We try to do these monthly. We're not great at them. But this time, this was a rescheduled one. We really wanted to do something that was genre specific. Like, we don't talk enough about this on the channel. But so the subject matter on which we are speaking is found footage. So we brought some movies we want to talk about. We're going to probably talk about why we love found footage and stuff in general. And so technically both of you guys are returning, but Christina, it's been like 3 years since you've been on the channel. So for anyone who doesn't know, this is my friend Christina Wilder. She is an actress, author, horror extraordinaire. We did some reviews a while back and we did your influential horror. So how you doing? Thanks for coming on.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're a big found footage junkie. You were my Secret Santa year before last, and you sent me some of the coolest stuff. Ties into like found footage. So you were like, I was like, oh, I know just the person to ask to go on and talk found footage.
Yeah, I sent like some like a story, but it was like found documents, and I was like, I think she'll get a kick out of this. So yeah,
I did. You can ask my partner. I was like, this is the coolest. I'm so glad that you ended up with me. It was great. And then returning is Brandon O from a Terrorific podcast. We just had you on not too long ago, but I had to have you come back for found footage. So thanks for joining us. How you been?
Thanks for having me back. Been good. I was on with what did we do? The influential. Yeah, so I had a found footage movie on that list, Paranormal Activity. So excited to talk a little bit more.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. And Mike, of course, is here.
Yay me. Hi everyone.
Yeah. So we'll Mike's gonna do a shout and then we'll kind of jump through some found footage stuff.
Yes. So we definitely want to shout out that the Sacred Crypt Awards nominations are still open, and they will be open until July 2nd. Correct? Yes.
I think that's right.
July 2nd. So you still have time to nominate some of your favorite content creators, filmmakers and movies, and horror authors and their books. Again, this is all celebrating in the indie horror community. Yep. Like we say in our little form, Stephen King is not going to answer our call, so please don't nominate him. This is all about indie horror. So nominations are still open. We're getting a lot of them in, but there is still so much time. So please get those nominations in.
Yeah, for sure. Links are on all of our socials. We've been posting in stories and reels and stuff. So definitely go check it out and see, and let people know if you qualify for it. If you have something that fits the boot, do it. Let people know. So we'll start with a simple fun question before we jump into our list, and that is what we love about found footage. Why do we love found footage? Why do we return to it? Kind of whatever version of that question you want to answer. And we'll start with Christina.
Let's see. For me, I think because it really almost forces people to be more creative. You get there's so many different kinds of found footage, and one of the reasons I love the VHS franchise is because they keep finding more things. It's constantly evolving. And also the fact that, I grew up in the 80s, so it wasn't unusual for everyone to have a video camera to watch VHS tapes and everything, and kind of start seeing the revolution of where we are now, where everyone has a camera, everyone has access to that. So basically it's kind of comforting in an interesting way when you see like the tracking and such, and the glitch and such of the the DVDs and that sort of thing. But I absolutely love how creative the genre is. It's more broad than I think people realize. There's a lot to it, and there's so much talent in the field. It's really extraordinary, the vast array of stories that you can tell and you can share and even build upon with franchises, as we see with all these different ones that are at this point, I would say classics. So I love the genre. I'm always get excited when I find out something's found footage. I'm like, oh, now I'm definitely going to go see it.
Now you're hyped. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. What about you, Brandon? What do you love about found footage?
Yeah, to piggyback a little bit off of what Christina said about it being like broad. I like how it's so like accessible. Anyone can just pick up a phone or a camera or whatever and just footage film, And that may be a little bit of a double-edged sword because not all found footage is good found footage, but still, having people, have the opportunity to be able to at least attempt to make something, I think is great. And then for me personally, I like being scared when I watch scary movies or horror movies. And so found footage is the easiest thing that scares me, the easiest genre to scare me because the angles are so tight. Like nothing scares me more than the fear of what I can't see or the fear of the unknown. And so all those hidden angles around the corners and whatnot, just sitting here imagining, what's going to pop out. Even though I know something's coming, a jump scare is going to be inevitable. I don't know which direction it's going to come from. I don't know what it's going to be exactly. So that always has me, feeling a little bit excited. And I really like that part of the found footage genre.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. Mike, what about you? What do you love about found footage?
So I now have a 2-part answer. I have my original answer that I would always give when people ask. And then I have an evolved answer because found footage has evolved. My original answer was always, I love the immersive experience, kind of like what Brandon was saying about being scared. I think the easiest way to also scare you is make you feel like you're in the movie. That's why I think video games are very scary to people because you're playing it. So because I'm more scared playing video games than I am watching horror films. So it's the immersive experience that found footage brings you into that really is what sets it apart from anything else. However, found footage has evolved and they kind of steered away from everyday life type horror and making it more realistic. And now we're getting like really outlandish things.
That's true.
Like alternate dimension found footage, stuff that really takes you out of the immersive experience. But I still love found footage because the creativity, like Christina was saying, is there. It pushes boundaries. You get a lot of new things. And whether people like to admit it or not, your bigger horror directors, your bigger horror production companies, they're looking at what people are doing in found footage. Like that is the basis of what you see, like Screen Life turned into big movies like Searching and Missing. Just using camera phones started with found footage, and now we see people making big movies with their iPhone. So there's all these things that I feel come from found footage. So I think it's the most creative space. And I think it's the most influential of the horror genres.
Yeah, I agree. I think my answer is pretty much an amalgamation of all of it. I think, my introduction, much like many people who love found footage, and not for everybody, of course, but my very first found footage experience was Blair Witch. And I remember I watched it, post, everyone knew, Heather was in a Steak and Shake, so we knew she was fine. But it's one of those things where it was like, scary movies are, especially when you watch as much of it as we do as horror fans, it loses that traction and that ability to keep you scared, to keep you immersed, to keep you in this place where you're like, oh, is this real or not? And found footage is the only subgenre within our genre that has ever made me question if something was real or not. And there have been countless examples of this. Poughkeepsie Tapes was one of them. Savage Land was another one where I had to question, wait, is this fiction? And I just don't think that, obviously the others are in a more third person narrative style, right? So it's not, obviously it's fiction. It's told through a different lens, but it's the only thing that when it comes to horror, it's insanely scary most of the time for me. These get me more than anything else. And I guess in a way, like, I think it's interesting, Mike, you pointed out the video game thing, because I hadn't actually really thought about that. I do play horror games, but I'm a chicken. Like, I get really scared and I have to take breaks because I freak out. And it is kind of like that when you're watching a found footage movie, because you do feel like you're a part of the equation because you're watching it through this specific way. And kind of like what Christina said, I mean, it's such a crazy creative space. Like, we've seen, and Mike knows how I feel about this, but I'm ready for some diversity in the directors and stuff we're talking about. But for the sake of this conversation, you've got Kane and you've got Curry. Is that how you say it?
Curry Barker.
Curry. Both come from found footage backgrounds. Backrooms is 100% found footage style. It's very what's the other? Why can't I think of the other?
Analog.
Thank you. Analog horror. And then you've got, Curry's been doing YouTube for a long ass time, but Milk and Cereal, right, is what kind of launched this thing into like, oh shit, like this is a legitimate filmmaker. And I think that that's a testament to what comes from found footage. It is more accessible. So you do tend to get these newer filmmakers, these newer stories, or people kind of shooting their shot and finally being able to do something in filmmaking. But it's just such a creative space. I mean, how many like haunted house stories are a dime a dozen when they're shot in a traditional sense? But show me the boundaries you can break with a haunted house story when it's related to found footage, and it's just epically better in my opinion. So yeah, I think I'm in agreement with all of you. That was the long version of that to say that. But yeah, so okay. So we'll kind of jump into our list, just like we have in previous lives. So you don't have to go in any particular order. It's just kind of however you want to flow with it. But Christina, we'll start with the first found footage movie you wanted to talk about.
So the first one I wanted to talk about, and there's others that I think would go higher on my list of like favorites, that sort of thing. Yeah. But one of the first ones that came to mind when we were discussing this was the movie Host.
Yeah.
Because that came out around when everything was happening in regards to the pandemic. And it was working within that narrative of, utilizing the fear of what's outside and also tying in a paranormal aspect of it. And it was so creative, and it built in a way that felt honest. It felt so honest. And what I love about found footage, it always has this scene where they're looking for something, like, wait, did you see that? And it's slowly panning, and you don't quite see something, and you might see something, and they might do a jump scare, or that you might just see something that's strange.
Yeah.
And when that happens, when they first look in the attic, I actually covered my mouth in horror and I sat up, and I almost never do that. And I was just on edge for the rest of the evening. And it was just that whole thing, tying into what was happening at the time and tying into like societal fears. And then of course the fear of the unknown, which is always going to be something that is interesting, especially dealing with the paranormal and kind of introducing like the rules of the paranormal, but still kind of maintaining a believability and a likability of the characters too, because you feel like you knew these people. You know, everyone has friends who are like these people, and they're kind of joke around. You're like, oh yeah, I know this who this person is, and then everything starts going crazy, and it just, you feel like you're just a witness to something that's completely unhinged. So I was really impressed with how creative that was. Working within those parameters. I really like that. It really scared the heck out of me too. I was like, I don't really like this.
No.
So I like that one.
Yeah, it scared me too. And it was the exact amount of time as a Zoom meeting call. So like it cuts off, like the call cuts off, and like that's it. And you're like, well, I don't know why that was like the one thing for me that I was like, that was so scary to me, because I was like, oh no. Yeah. Host is a good shout. That's a really, really good one. And it captured the isolation, right, too, because everybody's like trying to be social and like trying to keep things up. And, anybody that was already in the content creating game was trying to still do stuff. And everybody's like, all of a sudden, everybody became a content creator. I was one of those people. I didn't start until post-COVID, but it was one of those things where it was just very, very, very relatable on the pandemic side. And it made the rest of it, like you said, very easy to believe and easy to fall into. So, yeah. That's a good shout. I love that movie. Very scary, even on rewatches.
I haven't rewatched it yet. I need to.
No?
I only watched it when it first came out. Yeah, it's been on my list to circle back to, but there's just so much stuff out there. I keep getting sidetracked. But
I know.
maybe
Yeah.
this is my
Very fair
sign
statement.
to hop on it.
Yeah. That's a really good shout. All right, Brandon, what you got first? You want to talk about?
Yeah, well, mine is a recent favorite. Comes courtesy of Mike here. I actually sent him a DM. Was it last week or earlier this week? I was like, "Yo, that was a crazy movie. Thank you for the suggestion." So, Godforsaken.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I can't believe I didn't think about that one. That's a good one.
Yeah, it was. I went into it. I mean, Mike said it was good, so I was like, okay, let's see what it is. I had reasonable expectations, but it still exceeded those expectations. So I was pleasantly surprised because, like, to have like things pop off so early in the movie and still be able to like hold your interest and build upon the story from there, I thought was really, really well done. And there were times where I kind of felt where I knew where the story was going, other times where I didn't exactly. By the time it all wrapped up, I wasn't really surprised at how it ended, but still I was engaged throughout the entire time. And there's just so many different elements. I mean, you have the religious horror, which you can go a lot of different ways with that. And then it kind of brought in like a little bit of a cosmic horror there too. Like I wasn't sure if that, I don't want to spoil anything, but the main entity seemed like one of those old great ones. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing to pull in.
God. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the acting was really good at some parts. Some other parts, not the best, but whenever what's his name? I think it was Dom, the guy with the glasses who was manning the camera, whenever he was going through his ordeal, like I really liked he sold it, and he was really convincing, really well done on that front. And of course, just the tight camera angles walking through basements, cellars, and the shadows, and you see something move in the corner of your eye, and then it's gone when it comes back, and all that stuff just felt really, really tense, really, really cool. And the fact that it was only like an hour and 17 minutes,
it's
like
short.
at my big age, like 2-hour movies, like I'm cutting those I'm watching those over 2-3 days. You know what I mean?
I do the same thing.
Yeah, I'm falling asleep these days.
Found footage specifically
shouldn't be
does not do well after an hour and a half. Even an hour and a half is like the 2-hour version for found footage. Some are good when they get to it, but like
I would say the exception is foreign found footage. If it's made here, keep it under an hour and a half. Because y'all storytelling starts getting whack after that hour and a half. I can't do it. So I agree.
No, I was so happy when I saw that message from you because Voices, we love that movie. It's funny because I'm pretty sure that movie has been shouted out so much on this channel because Angel has done an episode on it. We've done an interview with one of the main people from it, and he gave us so much good information and behind the scenes stuff about it. But yeah, that is my like go-to beginner horror. And then it was part of my 5 beginner horror friendly found footage films. And it will always be for the reasons why you enjoyed it. It starts off strong and it doesn't die out. And that's hard. That's hard to do. Like when you start with so much gas, because that's a cold open. Like they open.
Yeah. Christina, have you seen this one, Godforsaken?
I haven't seen that one.
Okay.
I have such a long list of
I'm sure
movies to see, but I'm as you're talking about it, I'm thinking of whenever you have like out of the gate a found footage horror movie, just take you to be like, well, okay, well, what the heck's going on? I love that. Maybe it's because I have my attention span is like not great. So I like to immediately kind of like be presented with something kind of weird and then take me on a journey
This is very much like that.
Yeah,
this
box
is
checked
very,
for sure.
very fast paced and very well made for a found footage film in general. The effects and stuff I thought were really great too. And yeah, we love talking to the guy about the opening scene because he was like, "Oh yeah, no, we actually like got permission to do that," and it was cool. Like it was a cool little conversation. Nice little plug there. But yeah, no, good shout. God Forsaken's super good. We're big fans of that one here for sure. Yeah. All right, Mike, what you got first you want to talk about?
So we talk found footage a lot on this channel. So I'm trying to keep it to very more underseen type of stuff. So I did it by checking Letterboxd and seeing like what has low views. So all my picks are 10,000 views and under, which I was actually surprised that there were a lot of movies that were very highly seen, considering that found footage is like the ugly stepchild in horror. So I was actually shocked. So I am going to start off with one of my favorite found footage franchises by one of my favorite found footage directors, Koji Shirashi. It is called the Senritsu Kayaki Files. There's 10 films, but I'm just going to use this to talk about the entire franchise because each installment is about a urban legend, a Japanese urban legend. So like the kappas, shapeshifters, haunted toilet spirits. Like there's so much going on in Japanese folklore. So this tackles like in different entity in each episode while also having like amongst 10 movies an overlapping storyline that deals with like a multiverse. So it's extremely wild. Again, there's the first couple movies are like an hour to an hour 15 minutes, and then they start pushing the hour and a half time limit, but they're so chaotic that you don't care how long these go on. And I would say like the weakest links of this franchise are still so far superior to a lot of American-made found footage films. So it's not something that you can stream like on a streaming service because of licensing rights and stuff. But there is a YouTube channel, Asian Cinema, and they have all 10 of the movies. I do believe it's legally uploaded to YouTube. I do believe that's a thing for them. And then what I also like is what he also did, if you like me, even more lore and more unique storytelling, he has a short film for in between each movie. So when the first movie ends, like you can go to another list and find the short film that accompanies that film, and it's just a little bit more backstory. It's so cool. It's so well done. He is one of my favorite directors of all time, and I just absolutely love this series. I finally got to finish it this year because I saw that all 10 were finally up.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, you said Asian Cinema was the YouTube channel? Check that out.
Very cool. I will be shocked if any of you, including Mike, have seen this one. So I really like random found footage movies. I typically fall into liking things that everybody else hates. That's typically and it's not on purpose. It's not a shtick I'm going for, but it just tends to happen that way. But so when I was doing Found Footage Fridays before, when Tom and I were still doing it, it was hard at that time to find new stuff to cover because everything was either talked to death about, right? So Blair Witch, Paranormal Activity, those kind of things, right? And it was just found footage had just started picking up traction with horror fans again. So I stumbled upon this, and I genuinely don't even know how. I don't know if I saw it on Instagram. I don't know if I don't know. But the movie is called The Museum Project. So you have seen this one?
Yes, love this movie. It's on my list.
So this one is under an hour. It's very, very short. The setup for it's really basic. It's these friends or SIP friends go and they're like, there's all this history about this train museum, and they're gonna go sneak in and stay overnight. And they're not supposed to. It's a huge no-no. Well, they do. Bad shit happens afterwards. But what I loved about this was, first of all, it's very short and sweet. It's like 45, 50 minutes. But I really liked the characters. I really thought their use of effects was really fun and worked in the space that they were given. I mean, they're surrounded by trains. It's pitch black. Like, it was just an environment that I would have never thought. I think all the time, I'm like, you know where it'd be cool to do a found footage movie in like a laser tag room. But like a train museum, it never crossed my mind. So I saw it as it was this very like, you know, really unique idea and location, and they just sell it. Like they get really frustrated and they get freaked out and things happen, and the ending is like goes in kind of a not a completely unfamiliar territory. But I would say that watching the first part of this, or the first 2/3 of this, you're not thinking this is going to go where it's going. You're just not. And it ends, the ending really wraps up the plot holes so well that it just felt like really, really great writing. And nobody talks about this movie. Nobody. I've never heard anybody else ever talk about the museum project. And it is such a great little found footage movie. And you can watch it for free. It's on YouTube. And it's just this cute little, like I said, like 45, 50-minute thing. And but it was just really, really well done. And it left such an imprint. I never forgot about it. Like I think about it all the time.
I absolutely agree with this shout. That's a great one. It was also on my list. Again, like Angel said, it's a free movie on YouTube. And I think for me, it's the second best YouTube specific found footage film. Obviously the first one is Milk and Cereal for me. But this one did such a great job at utilizing its location, utilizing its time limit. I loved this film. I found it on a Reddit thread, and then I did see it because Angel and her co-host covered it on Found Footage Fridays. But if you guys haven't seen it, it's definitely one to put it towards the top of your list.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love it. Sorry, my partner's trying to find my keys. I was like, we're buzzing around. What's going on? Sorry. Yeah, it's really great. And if you like I do like the shorter found footage things. I think there is a lot of fun that can be had in under an hour. And I love when people really are able to tell like a full focused story, and with effects and pretty solid acting, in my opinion, and a cool little story. Anyway, it's really great. It's free on YouTube. Highly recommend the Museum Project. There is a theme I've noticed with films that I like having the word project in them. Have you noticed that about me? That's weird.
But,
anyway,
I mean, found footage just loves the word project.
Yeah.
So that's you're gonna find a lot.
Project is something. Yeah. Files are project usually. Yeah.
My second one's a project one too. But anyway. All right, cool. Well, Christina, what did you have next that you wanted to talk about?
So the next one I found, no pun intended, recently, speaking of the short ones, I was really kind of looking for ones I haven't seen, because I was like, well, everyone knows Blair Witch, everyone knows like the top ones. But I was like, there's gotta be something, because there's so many movies I haven't seen. But I was like, there's gotta be something short, because I was looking for something short. And I found one called the McPherson tape. I think it came out in the 80s.
Yes, it did.
Okay. And
did not expect to be talking about McPherson tapes. Lay it on us.
Awesome. And it's funny because my husband and I have been watching. We watch a lot of movies. We rewatch a lot of movies too, which is why I think I haven't seen a lot of things. Says I'll like let's put this on again. But I was like, I just want to watch something short, because we've been watching martial arts movies, so he's been picking them and we've been watching. And then I was like, I really want to watch something though, but I'm so tired. So I found this, and it was like an hour, and I'm like, cool, okay, this sounds good. And I was like, ooh, because again, if you grew up like in the 80s or maybe the early 90s, I'm not, but I can speak as someone who grew up in the 80s. There was an unbelievable fascination with aliens. And of course, as I grew older in the X-Files, And we used to argue in school whether or not the alien autopsy was real. So, and so I was like, this sounds really neat. And you start watching and it feels like exactly like the kind of videotapes that my uncles and my dad would take of like my birthday parties. And
I agree. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think as I'm watching it, and to be fair, I was a little tired. I was like, okay, maybe this could have been edited down a little, but and of course you're limited by the constraints of your time. And I think some of the special effects may not translate to a modern audience, but I think it's worth a watch because it feels so real, and the way they react when certain things happen feels 100% real. Like they're talking to each other the way family members would, like, what are you doing? Don't do that. What are you doing? Stop. Let's do this. Okay, now everything's calm. And they're like, no, it's not. And then it's like, what's that? What's that? And something keeps happening and it just ends. Cause like I was waiting for the pin to drop. And then sure enough, something happens and then it just like stops. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I'm not sleeping now because that was messed up. But I really enjoyed that one. That was really neat. And it was exactly the kind of, I agree 100% with, I got like a glasses wiper in case I'm fidget toy kind of, but I really was impressed with what they did with what they had.
Yeah.
Because you feel like it could happen. It was just, but yeah, I really enjoyed that one. So I was like, and I was even thinking, I'm like, I'm going to mention this one and they'll probably know about it or they've heard about it. But I'm like, it's worth a watch because it's only like an hour.
Yeah. It's also found footage history, right? Because it's like one of the earlier, it's not the first, not the earliest, but it predates Blair Witch. So it's very interesting. They did that documentary series on, I think it's Shudder, right? Where they interviewed the guy who did that. And he talks about it. And it's funny listening to him talk about it because it has become kind of this interesting milestone for found footage for people who are like really submerged in the genre. But it's like, he was like, yeah, we had to make this student film and it is what it is. And it's just, and I only laugh because, like you said, they are limited to the timeline in which this was made. So the aliens are not, I would say, horribly scary. Like, I think if I saw them in present day, I would be like, shoot, I wouldn't be very bothered.
Yeah.
But to your point, the dread and the things that they build with the family, I did think was very well done for a film that was not intended to be like an entertainment film, right? And so I do agree. And I always love when people bring it up because it's such a like under discussed piece of found footage history.
I am such a huge fan of this film.
Mike, of course, loves this.
Love this film, and that's why I was laughing because Angel and I, we both appreciate the history.
Yes.
Like we know its importance to found footage, but we definitely think very differently regarding this movie.
We do.
And I love this movie. I think it's a great movie. I love the little Power Ranger looking aliens. Like,
I know.
Those
they
aliens
like
are my favorite
aliens.
They look like the putties. They do. They look like the little putty guys that they fight in Power Rangers.
And
it
makes sense for the type of aliens we're supposed to be seeing at that time.
Especially at that time, because that has, evolved. Brandon, have you seen the McPherson tape?
No, it's like popped up in my suggestions a lot of the times, but I haven't actually clicked it yet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
low expectations.
But
go. That's a
but
one
also
to watch.
like I love anything alien. I'm down for it. And I grew up more so in the 90s. I was born in the 80s, but I grew up in the 90s and I was all about X-Files and like I've stated this before, like I'm a believer on the front of aliens. Like I think aliens are a very realistic thing that could be, and I think they're scary, and that alien stuff gets to me more than ghost stuff gets to me. It just does. And so it was such a fun thing to finally see, because I didn't see it until just a few years ago when I started the channel. I did found footage month in March, where I watched a new found footage movie that I had not seen every day for a freaking month. And I found it that way. And I was like, what is this? Like, it's like out the vault. But yeah, that's a great shout. I love that you got to experience that one, because I do think it is it's special for found footage. I really do think that, even though I'm not like raving about it, I do think it's important. It's an important piece of the found footage puzzle. For sure.
Definitely, yeah. And it just, it feels, I think I like the banter, because like when the brothers are making fun of each other, I'm an only child, but I've heard siblings, and they'll be like, oh, because they're like, put down the camera, and then he's like, oh, I got it, oh, I've got it, shut up. It's just, but they're grown, but they're still, it just, it feels like the way a family would deal with an invasion. And it's just, it's just, because just when you think that, like, okay, well, maybe they are safe, and then sure enough, like they go to check on something, and then something happens, and it keeps happening, and it's just, so I mean, I think like by the end it's like, oh, okay, the suits aren't really, the costumes aren't really as scary, but at the same time it's like, but it's still a pretty terrifying concept, because at the end of the day, it is an invasion of
for sure,
the planet and your home and your lives and everything. And
you've got kids there. Yeah.
It's just like, oh man, it's just
yeah. No, it's true. That's a good shout. I know Mike's face lit up when you said the title of it.
I noticed. I was like, oh, I
yes. All right, Brandon, what you got next that you want to talk about?
So my next one is one that I watched recently over the weekend, and it's just like red flag city the entire time I was watching it. So like my whole premise for my show is I like to point out just absurd situations that people find themselves in and why they continue to just do silly stuff. And so Dream Eater is the one that I just watched recently. And so the premise of that is this couple goes to stay in a cabin because the boyfriend in the relationship, he is afflicted by like violent sleepwalking. And so his therapist has the girlfriend try to film him to kind of document what's going on and all this stuff. So there's like a supernatural entity involved and all this stuff, but the true horror, I would say, of the movie is the relationship between this couple, because they are toxic as hell, bro.
Awful. Yes,
they're the worst.
Totally
they're like
agree.
the worst couple since like Mika and Katie.
And Mika, I
Paranormal
immediately
Activity.
thought of Mika 5 minutes into that film. I was like, son of a bitch, you can't escape him. Yep.
Yes, horrible guy. Horrible. And I don't know how I forgot her name, but I don't know how the girlfriend like stuck around through all this stuff.
Nope, but I wouldn't have. Nope.
Yeah. But it has its moments of like dread and fear building. You know, that whole isolation aspect, of course, is always gonna instill a sudden amount of fear. So being in this cabin when it's like it's all snowy and dark and the power goes out all the time, and if the power goes out, the way you have to fix it is by crawling through the crawl space beneath the house.
Like a video game.
Yeah, there's like a lot of different situations and scenarios that it's just like, why are y'all doing this? But also that's kind of scary. So it was okay. It wasn't my favorite found footage joint, but you know, the concept I was intrigued by, just like this, you know, dream entity kind of deal. Because I mean, you're there's no time you're more vulnerable than when you're asleep. So
and you have to do it. You can't avoid it.
Yeah. So the idea of being preyed upon while you're defenseless is terrifying by itself. And you know, just seeing how that kind of, you know, built upon that, and then again their relationship, and just it was interesting to see. And Eli Roth has his name attached to it. I think he's like a producer or something. It's Eli Roth Presents Dream Eater.
Yeah, he made them change the name. So his you know what? I thought, zip my lips at the beginning. I'm done. I'm not gonna say nothing.
That ego. But with his name attached to it, I expect a little bit more gore than what we got.
More effects. You got the money behind it. What are you doing? I felt the exact same way. And I bitched for like 5 minutes in my review about the boyfriend. I was done. Because here's the thing, right?
Horrible.
Like you can write a found footage guy and they don't have to be a complete ass. That's not a requirement, right?
Right.
But when they write them like this, I'm like, you go stay in the cabin by yourself and figure it out. I'm done. Like, what do you like? He was
Did
so
it feel
bad.
like we're meant to hate him, or they just writ him terribly?
I don't know, because I feel like hating him doesn't add anything. Why make it intentional to hate a character that is going through this thing? Wouldn't you want your viewers to like sympathize with them and like care? I didn't care if that entity killed him. I was like, get him out of here.
At all.
I did not care.
For sure.
Yes.
Or would have deserved it. Yeah.
And that makes it hard, because then it's like, well, I don't know if it was bad writing or what, but I feel like given that he's essentially supposed to be the victim and you're just hoping he dies like the whole movie.
So,
sorry.
I hate it.
I did not like this movie.
Christina, have you seen it?
I haven't. No, but it's funny because I knew somebody who's almost their whole family had sleep disorders. They had each one had a different sleep disorder. So it's interesting because his sister would sleepwalk, and it was really bad when she got into her teens, to the point where they would take turns. One of them would sleep in the living room because she would try to be like, well, I'm going to the mall. They're like, no, you're not. His mom had night terrors. And one time I was hanging out. Yeah. And I was like, it's screaming.
It's very scary.
It's horrifying. And then I was like, he's like, oh, that's just mom. She's fine. They're going to come out and have Coco. She's fine. He used to thrash around in his sleep, and his brother used to talk, like full on conversations. You could talk to him and he would just talk back. So each one of them had a sleep disorder. So I always think it's fascinating to hear about people who, because I know, we all do different things in our sleep. Sometimes we're not aware of it, and sometimes I've woken myself up like humming. To have something of like, okay, it's bad enough that we're going to investigate this. It's another example of just a very creative premise.
It was a creative premise, and the name is super badass. Dream Eater.
Yeah.
And then I watched the movie. I think I was live texting Mike the whole time. I was like, this shit. I was so angry. And
die.
I was really mad. Well, and the other thing is, I don't know why the horror community kind of bumps over this, but like Eli Roth is a problematic human. He's problematic. Like he does not stand for very good things. He's got a history of female fans having bad experiences with him. Like, he's problematic. So when he gets involved in projects and he's got the money and then he still makes a bad movie, I'm like, I get wanting to keep it indie. I appreciated that. And the premise was so cool. Like, I would kill for a found footage horror movie that is about something related to sleep, because I think that is such a scary, good premise. But like, this wasn't it for me. I absolutely hated it. And I went back and forth because I felt like the film kind of got a big traction. And I was like, I don't know, like if I'm real in my review and I'm honest, that I'm like, but no one cared. No one cared that I hated it. I hated it. I absolutely hated it. It was so disappointing. And the premise and the title were so cool. It was this cool little indie film that was getting hyped, and they got this big break, right? And I love that for them. The execution was lacking for me. So
definitely squandered potential. I think I gave it like 1.5 stars myself. So
I was probably there with you. I don't think we did a formal review. I just did a reel, I think. Yeah. Right?
I think so, because I know I didn't watch it, so I don't think we ended up doing too much with it.
Oh, is that what it was? I couldn't remember.
These won't be my picks, but just for you guys, if you want something similar vibes, there's 2 movies. One is on Found TV right now called Go to Sleep. We did a review, and that also deals with sleepwalking. I enjoy that one.
That one handled it much better.
Chris Vanderkay is also a friend. We love him, but it's actually, he does good work.
It's a great concept,
and another movie, when it does come out, I think it's finishing up festival run, so hopefully it gets picked up soon. But there's one called Alan at Night, and
I've heard of this.
It's one to watch. It's sleepwalking. It's influencer horror.
I love that stuff.
Bullying, but not in a terrible way. And then I won't say the genre shift, but it goes places that you don't expect at all.
Oh, I love that.
Sold.
So,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. No, that's a good one to discuss, at least, even though I did hate that movie. Dream Eater pissed me off. But it was a cool concept. I agree with you. And there were parts that did feel very anxious, but it was a miss for me. I was very disappointed in that one, but good shout. Still need to talk about it just so people are aware that it makes sense. I'm sure it has its audience, just like everything else. But okay, cool. Mike, what'd you have for your next one?
So my next one is another movie that I found on YouTube. I've only ever seen it on YouTube. I don't know if you can see it other places. It's more on the, from what I have seen and why I saw it, it's more on the extreme horror side, but I don't think it's not gratuitous. It's not cruel. I think it's just because of what it kind of deals with, and because the practicals are very good. It is called Long Pigs.
I've heard of this one.
Long Pigs?
Me too. Yeah. I think I've heard of it, but I only know the name.
I only know the name too, but I know I've heard that before.
Two documentarians decide that their subject matter that they're making a documentary on is a cannibal. Like they know he's a cannibal, and he knows that they are documenting him. So it is just documenting the life of a cannibal.
Because long pig is like slang for human meat, right? Okay. Yeah.
What I truly love about this film is that the cannibal is so charismatic.
Oh no.
He is so and he doesn't he's not your typical like he's not traditionally attractive. Like that's not the charisma. Like he's just this kind of schlumpy regular dude, but you're just so drawn to his nature, and then you're seeing the process of everything. And I just think the practical effects are great. I think that the acting is found footage acting, but it's also good too. But it's not like you're not going to watch and be like, these are great actors. It's good for found footage and for what they're doing. But I had to give that one a shout because it's one of those, like you guys said, like the name comes out a lot, but nobody has ever like watched it.
Seen it. Yeah. I just knew the name.
Yeah. So that's one to definitely watch.
Yes, that's the one on YouTube. It's on YouTube, you said?
Yes.
It's interesting when you say the charismatic. I remember back when Bravo did their scariest movie moments, the first one, they were talking about Hannibal Lecter, and one of the people talking about it said you would want him to like you, which is so terrifying because he's basically like he's a human monster. So just the idea that someone could be so incredibly charismatic and be so horrific or do something horrific is just, it's really that. I mean, I'm definitely gonna have to check that out because I find that so compelling as a viewer to be like, I should dislike this person, but there's something about them that is that charisma. So that sounds interesting.
Yeah, Mads Mikkelsen sells that even more in the show because you're like, just run away and be in love together and live happily ever after. I'm like, Angel, he's done terrible things, like terrible things. What are we doing? Yeah, it's true. But you do hope for them to just end up married and living happily ever after. For some reason, I don't know. They did a good job writing it that way, I guess.
That's a fantastic show. Yeah, I missed that show.
Big fan of Mads Mikkelsen. He's dope. I love him.
Oh yeah.
Well, so my second one, and I told Brandon, I was like, come up with all this list, knowing damn well we weren't going to get through that many. I don't know why. I always think we're going to run out of things to talk about, but we never do. So my next one, and then we'll go around and do just like a shortened version of other ones that you wanted to touch on, just for the sake of time. But my next one that I wanted to talk about is the Dinosaur Project.
Another project. All right.
Another project. I'm a big fan of dinosaurs. And this one is what was the word Tom used? He hated it. What was the word he used? It's really too clean of CGI to be found footage. It really is. The dinosaurs look real good, like too good for a found footage movie, but it's fun. And it's literally just these people who accidentally end up somewhere they're not supposed to, and there's dinosaurs everywhere, and it's fun. it's like there's this really cool, crazy scene where they get swept away down this. I guess it's like it's not quite a waterfall, but it's like a little bit of a drop, and it's like this water carries them, and you get to see the dinosaurs in the water swimming around, chasing them, and it's just so fun. And it's like Jurassic Park through a hand cam, and it's just fun. Oh, and they have these really cool shots that are like, I guess they're more like trail cams, but they have night vision, and they show the pterosaurs, those are the flying ones that come down. And oh my God, it's so fun. I was obsessed with that movie the first 5 minutes of it. I was like, dinosaurs and found footage? Are you freaking kidding me? I was obsessed with it. And not really there's no depth to it at all. It's just a dinosaur found footage movie. And it was fun. And I loved it. And no one talks about it with joy like I do. I'm the only one. So
it is very much a fun movie.
It's so fun. It's like, it's not really even horror, I guess. It's really more like an adventure, but it's found footage and it's fun. Dinosaurs.
It's like the Lost World Jurassic Park found footage style, because it's not the best Jurassic Park movie.
Like that? I love the Lost World.
I haven't seen that one.
It is not the best of the three.
Well, no, the first one is the best one.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was thinking Jurassic Park 3. The Lost World is 2, right?
The one where they go into the terrarium.
Okay.
Or not.
That's what I meant. I meant to give it the not so much love of Jurassic Park 3 meets found footage. It's still good. It's not fun. Great, but it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. And it's got dinosaurs, like I said. That's the best part. Big dinosaur fan.
Yeah, it sounds cool.
Yeah.
Is it streaming?
It was. I watched it for free. I tell you, I ain't paid for it.
Usually on Tubi, or now it's like on stuff like Fossum and all those other random apps that you can find on your smart TV.
2012.
Gotcha.
Oh, and it's British. I didn't remember that.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't
either. It's PG-13 too. It's not telling me where it's streaming, which is weird. But yeah, it's really fun. And it's just one of those like mindless, like I said, there's no depth to it whatsoever. But yeah, Fossum and Tubi is where you can find it. But it's fun. Dinosaurs found footage, are you kidding me? That's like right up my alley. Well, actually, we need more dinosaur found footage movies. There is another one called like Area 403 or something. Terrible, but so much fun. God, the CGI dinosaurs are bad. Like bad. Like kids with their own YouTube channels, bad. But man, was it fun. That was a fun one too. Those I don't have high expectations for. Those are just, I'm just along for the ride. So, yeah. So anyway, if you like dinosaurs and you like found footage, might be a little niche, but that's where it's at. That's a good one. Okay, cool. So, let's go. We'll do like, if you just have like some honorable mentions or some you didn't get to that you really wanted to talk about, we'll do those and then we'll wrap up. Whenever we talk about stuff that we care about, we always end up not getting through the whole list. It happens every freaking time. So sorry if I painted you for no reason, Brandon.
All good. All good.
All right, Christina, what's something that you wanted to talk about that we didn't get to?
I would say the two that come to mind are The Last Exorcism. I think that one surprised me because it was better than I thought it would be. And I like how it unfolds like a mystery. And there's always a surprise happening. Like just when you think you figured out a character, figured out a situation, something comes up. Yeah. So I like that one. I like the acting in that one. I thought it was very good. Let's see, Willow Creek. For those who are fans of Bobcat Goldthwait and maybe know him as like the funny guy in the 80s, he directed an incredible found footage Bigfoot horror movie. And I'm not sure where it is streaming. I don't know if we own it, but we got it somehow. We watch it somehow.
It's usually streaming, I think.
Yeah, it's probably streaming somewhere, but it might be shut. I don't know. It's hard to keep up. It really is because it could change. So, but it is just amazing. And there's a scene near the end where they're in a tent that is just absolutely terrifying. And it's almost excruciating because you're just in the tent with them and you're just waiting and listening and you hear something else. And it's like, what the hell? And I was just so uncomfortable. I was like physically uncomfortable. That's how scared I was. So that one's definitely worth watching. Especially I live in the Pacific Northwest now, so there's Bigfoot everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So it's kind of cool. He's kind of like a mascot. So those, and I just saw one the other day, and this one was weird. It was called They're Watching, and I think it's on Tubi, and it's actually like a House Hunters episode. It's a crew of where basically this woman's like, I want to move the middle of nowhere in Europe, in this tiny little town, and so she does, and the villagers are like, we're not really. They're really kind of, they have trepidation about outsiders. And then the crew goes to check out, like, let's see how they, how she fixed up the house. And there's a lot of really strange things that happen. And some of it doesn't work as well. Some of the acting doesn't work as well. And the ending goes pretty crazy and off the rails. So I could see how some people be like, that's too many special effects, but it did surprise me. And there were certain times where I was like, whoa, what the hell? So I'm always excited when I can do that, since I've seen so much horror. So, and it can be, some of it's kind of funny too. So if you're looking for something that's kind of different, I would recommend that one as well.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. Yeah, cool. All right, Brandon, what were some you wanted to get to?
Yeah, so my honorable mention. So Christina, I think you mentioned at the top the VHS franchise, which I also love. Did a whole season on it. So I watched one on Tubi. Just finished it today, actually, called Stickman's Hollow, and it has like it could be a VHS film, I think. The way that they did it, like the premise is like this couple and their son, they go like they're out like in the woods and they're trying to go fishing at this lake, and they end up crossing paths with just this supernatural kind of element. So it has like a supernatural side. It has like kind of like a folk horror kind of side to it. A little bit of religious in there as well. But the way it's broken up into like 4 different chapters. So it's kind of like a mini anthology film in and of itself. And it was interesting. There were some moments that I thought were a little bit scary. Other moments, a little bit less scary. But overall, the way that they kind of shot it and blended it all together, I think it worked decently well. It's on Tubi, so it's quick, free thing to watch. I think it was only like an hour, 20 minutes, 23 minutes, something like that. So relatively short. I didn't recognize anyone in it or attached to it, but yeah, it was interesting, getting lost in the woods. There's stick figures, so like some Blair Witch vibes there, but then it just goes in different directions and kind of blends multiple, subgenres together. So it was interesting.
That's the best word for it, because
You've seen this one, of course.
I didn't love it, but I was never uninterested. It
it kept you
my
engaged
attention the entire time. I think for me, like, the problem was, like, even though it was only an hour 20, I'm like, I feel like this could have done even better, like shorter and quicker. But overall, it was a solid found footage film. It's from this year, and I'm actually really entertained with a lot of the stuff that's coming out this year. And that was, while it's not my favorite, it would be something that I would recommend to people.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't heard of that one. That sounds good though. All right. Well, cool. Mike.
Yep. I want to talk about one specifically, and then I'll rapid fire a few. Capture, Kill, Release.
I just don't think I'm going to ever be able to watch that one.
It is a film that I've really wanted to do on the show, but I'm like, I don't know if I could even recommend it, just because it's meant for specific audience too. There's a lot of like domestic mental abuse in this movie.
That's why I haven't. Yeah.
So it's not for everyone. To me, it's a very heavy movie as you go along. But same thing as, like I said about Long Pigs, the 2 characters are very engaging. They're very charismatic. The person that the issue is very captivating. I loved her. And it's not a spoiler at all. Like, they talk about it very quickly. So basically this couple, they're documenting that as a couple, they want to murder someone. And they're just documenting it. And then as the movie goes along, you see that one of them thought they were just playing kind of thing. And then one of them's very serious about it. And you just see the toxic relationship unfold. But absolutely love this movie. I think it's so well done in the way that they talk about so many different subjects. And then kind of want to just rapid fire because we made a lot of found footage friends, and I want to shout out their movies. Live Screamers, absolutely love that film. Yes. It's actually one of my favorite in-world camera horror films. It's Screen Life. I go back and forth if it replaced the Blair Witch Project for me. That's how much I love it.
Wow.
So good.
It's video game horror. Like, I know she doesn't like when I say this, but it is very much if Stay Alive was a found footage film.
Yeah, Michelle's not a fan of that one, but I agree with you, and I love Stay Alive. So, and the filmmakers made the video games. Like, they legitimately, the video game play that you see was created in Unreal. They did make the video games, and it is like a thing. Like, they're just so and it's so meta. It's got so much commentary on what it means to have like a following, and like it's very, very. Michelle is a genius. Yeah.
And
great.
Then real fast, Nick Catrufo and the McKinney Family Home Videos series. There are 2 of them. I'm hoping that there's more. Period Ask by Chris Vanderkay. We mentioned him earlier for Go to Sleep. I also just wanted to shout out Loner, which is a new one on Found TV as well. Loved that film. And then also just want to shout out, because we both really like this movie and we had talked about it on the show, Unknown Project. If you want more alien horror,
that one was Project, so good.
Also known as Things Unknown.
For some reason, it's got 2 names.
It has 2 different
That's a great
titles.
One.
Great found footage alien horror.
Very good. Yeah.
And that's
cool.
it.
Well, cool. So the only one, I'll do rapid fires for the rest of them, but the only other one I did want to give a little extra love to, and I've talked about this, and I get so mad when I think about the fact that a lot of people miss out on this movie. There is a mockumentary alien film called Gulf of Silence. It is one person telling a retelling of experiences with extraterrestrials. It is captivating. It is haunting. It is stunning. The way that it was filmed is beautiful. And this person was doxxed and bullied off the internet by the alien community.
Because, like real, not part of the movie. Like this was
really happened. So she pulled the movie because she was treated so horribly online, because believers were so horrible to her, because it's not meant to be a documentary. It's meant to be a fake documentary. And they had issue with that. And they doxed like her personal information online. It was bad, to the point where she said, I'll probably never release this. And I was lucky enough that she did send it to me. She was really sweet. She's on Instagram. And it is such a badass alien mockumentary. I do think if you have the broken into Fire Stick, or like you have movie apps, I think you can find it that way if you wanted to watch it, but it's not widely available because of how horribly she was treated online. And it is bar none one of the best mockumentaries I have ever seen. It is so good. And so I always love to give that a little bit of love and remind the community how much they suck for robbing us of that experience, because it's beautifully done. It's so well done. And then my rapid fires are Dybbuk Box, which is great. Guy buys haunted boxes off eBay to see what happens, what could possibly go wrong. Open Water 3 Cage Dive. You can fast forward 45 minutes into the movie. When they get in the water, then you can start watching it.
Watch it all.
It's so good. Holes in the Sky is another indie. Our friend Ash made that one. That is another indie alien found footage movie that's really great. This
like that
one,
title.
Holes in the Sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's we actually got copies of that for Blu-rays for the trophy boxes last year for the Sacred Crypt Awards. He sent us a bunch of them. So
Awesome.
cool filmmaker, but I love the movie before I knew anything about the filmmaker. I just thought it was really fun. This one pisses people off, but I don't care. Skinamarink, love that one. The series Bad Ben, literally the first one was made for like $300, and it's not cinematically life-changing, but it's a really fun take on found footage and what you can do when you don't put any money into it, and it was just fun.
I think I've seen the first one. I didn't realize it was a series.
Brandon, there's like 30.
There's
so
like
many.
14.
There's so many.
Wow.
Yeah, I got all the way through 7 before I started to kind of lose interest, but they're fun, and I love the guy. He's great. The guy that does them. Then these last 2 are a little more known, but I love to give them shouts when I can. And that's, of course, the Monster Project and Butterfly Kisses. Those are Butterfly Kisses is more like folk horror. Really, really great. Monster Project is God in found footage for me. It's one of my favorite found footage movies of all time. I love it. So another project one. But anyway, so that's that. That's all of them.
I like it. I've been jotting these down as y'all been going, so I have quite
I can't
a long
believe
list.
Yeah, you guys all had different ones I've never even heard of. I love when that happens. Yeah, Skinamarink makes people mad. They're like, I don't care.
I love that
Love
one.
it. Love Skinamarink. Okay, well, cool. Well, thank you guys for joining us for our Found Footage Live, and thanks for being willing to reschedule and come back to chat. Links on where you can find Christina and Terrific are, of course, in the description. If you have not done your nominations for Sacred Crypt Awards, you got like 2 more weeks, and then we're going to wrap that up so we can start getting ready for voting. I've already volunteered Radar to do our spreadsheet, so I don't have to. It's a lot of information to go through, and spreadsheets give me anxiety. And he's like, yeah, no problem. Done. Anyway. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us on our horror hangout live. We'll be back hopefully next month with another topic. I don't know what we're going to do. We probably discussed it. I don't remember, but we'll figure it out.
I don't think we did.
Aliens.
I
could talk about aliens all day.
I know. Honestly, same. I'm all about dinosaurs, aliens, sharks. Those are my 3 things. If it's got
dinosaurs and sharks are basically like Earth aliens. So
that, I love that take. That makes sense why I'm so interested in them. So I'm
definitely stealing that for sure.
I love that. Yeah, they are. Well, very cool. Well, thanks again for everybody hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Let us know your found footage recommendations, I guess, below. There's plenty, I'm sure, that we didn't even get to or talk about or even think of. So let us know. And hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend when you get to it. And we'll see you in the next one.